Good day, everyone. I am tasked to report geologic processes and hazards, which such as landslide. So first, let's define what is hazards. Hazards are phenomena or natural or man-made which possess threat to humans, animals, properties, and environment. So hazard is a danger or risk. There are two classifications of hazards, natural and anthropogenic or man-made. The natural hazards, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, landslides, tsunamis, climate or weather hazards. And sa anthropogenic or man-made hazards is deforestation, mining, and climate change. Landslides. The objective here is to describe the different various hazards caused by landslides. Using hazard maps, identify areas prone to hazards brought by landslides. Identify human activities that speed up or trigger landslides. Give practical ways of coping with geologic hazards caused by landslides. So landslides. Landslides is the movement of rock down a slope. This is a natural hazard, but human activities may speed up or trigger its occurrences. So landslide, we all know landslide is a natural hazard, but there are human activities that speed up or trigger landslide. For example is the cutting trees, overloading slopes, excavation, quarrying, and mining. There are 5 different types of landslides: fall, topple, slide, spread, and flow. Let's define first fall. Fall is a very rapid to extremely rapid movement which starts with detachment of material from steep slopes such as cliffs along a surface on which little or no shear displacement of takes place. So sa fall is diri mahitabo ang landslide sa mga cliff nga area sa bundok. Topple involves overturning of material. It is forward rotation of the slope mass about a point or axis below the center of gravity of displaced mass. Topples range from extremely slow to extremely rapid movements, driven by gravity and sometimes by water or ice in cracks in mass. So this is the topple landslide, as you can see in the picture. So next is the slide. Di naman ma-slide. So slide. Movement of material along a recognizable shear surface. Example, there are 2 different landslide. Translational and rotational slides. Downslope movement of a soil or mass occurring dominantly on surfaces of or on relatively thin zones of intense shear strain. The sign of ground movement are cracks of the original ground. Modes of sliding: translational and planar slides, wedge slides, and rotational slide. Fourth one is spread. Spread is sudden movement on water-bearing seams of sand or silt overlain by homogeneous clays or loaded by fills. Modes of spreading is block spreads, liquefaction spread, complex spreads. Then the last one is flow. Flow is a landslide in which the individual particles travel separately within a moving mass. Spatially continuous movement in which surfaces of shear are short-lived, closely spaced, and usually not preserved. Flows are differentiated from slides on the basis of water content, mobility, and evolution of movement. Modes of flow: open slope, debris flow, and channeled flow. So that's the different types of landslide: fall, topple, slide, spread, and flow. And next we go to, so there are factors that can initiate slope slope movements or the various hazards caused by landslide. The first one is typhoon. Typhoon can cause landslide, especially strong typhoon. We all know that that is the various hazards caused by landslide. Next is snow melt or the melting of snow. Changes in water level, stream, erosion, changes in groundwater, and also earthquake. Volcanic activity, disappearance of vegetation by wildfire, disturbance by human activities such as mining, cutting trees, deforestation, and etc. Landslides hazard maps. Steep slopes and clearly mountainous areas. Kanang sa mga area nga mountainous kan daghag mountain then ano siya clear, it can mga hazard maps sa landslide di siya kasagara mahitabo. Local slopes that exceed the local angle of repose 30 to 45 degrees on a hillside. Areas with abundant loss of debris on a slope. Slopes with low permeability as in fine-grained soils. Areas where large amount of rainfall or snow melt enter the ground. Location where shallow slides commonly develop at the interface between bedrock and the lost collovium that covers it. And lastly, locations of previous shallow landslides of any size. So let's proceed to the human activities that speed up or trigger landslide. First, overloading slopes. Diri nga parties, diri na siya mga area nga gihimo sa mga tawo nga. For example, sa isa ka specific place kang na-overload na ang mga material nga gibutang didto. For example, kanang ihang yuta mag ground shaking siya, so it can cause landslide kung overload na kayo ang kana nga area. Next, mining using explosives underground. Kanang sa mining kapag magpabuto mo sa ilalim sa yuta, makakos na siya landslide kay ang yuta niya mag-shake siya, causes by landslide. Land use construction is associated with overloading slopes also. Excavation or displacement of rocks. This excavation is kini siyang maghimo kag hole sa isa ka specific nga lugar tapos ang mga rocks niya mawala siya, makakos siya landslide kay wala na maghulod sa iyahang yuta. Dili siya wala siya kanabang ang mga rocks is mawala na siya kanag imo man siyang gibangagan, so dili kanang hinay na iyahang band kanang makakos siya landslide, humok na kayang yuta, for example. Next, quarrying is also associated with mining. Land pollution, diri sa land pollution makakuan siya landslide it because ang mga basura nga naa sa yuta kasi mawala ba ang minerals sa yuta. Of course, cutting of trees. There is a cutting of trees causes by landslide. Kanang ang root sa tree mao mo gani nagahawid sa yuta. Kana bang nagprotect sa iha para di siya ma-fall down. Kung mag-cut kag trees ug wala na yung mga trees, dali ra gyud makuan ang yuta kay wala naman siya magkuan sa iha sa yuta. Wala na mag-hold it fall. Ma-fall na siya. Dili pud sa cutting of trees, kanang magputol ka og kahoy, kanang mawala na ba iyang root didto, wala na maghawid sa yuta para ma-absorb ang niya, wala na maghawid sa yuta, mo dali ra kay magka-landslide ug wala mga kahoy. So it is important sa to nga kita as humans, we need to plant trees for our safety also. So we already know what the human's activities that speed up or trigger landslide. So let's proceed to the ways to lessen the occurrence of landslide. First, check your home's drainage system. Make sure drainage system directs water away from home foundation. Vegetation cover protects land from landslides and soil erosion. Thus, efforts should be made to maintain greenery, particularly on slopes. Trees should be planted on slopes and slope base to prevent erosion. So kini siya kinahanglan ta mag-plant trees para walay para di magka-landslide. Next is minimizing irrigation on the surface of the soil. During construction of a building on a slope, the design that suits the natural slope should be adopted. Proper land use measures adopt an effective land use regulations and building codes based on scientific research. Next, look for changes to your surrounding that may signal the likelihood of landslide activity such as leaning, fences, or walls. Do not put waste on the slopes of your community. Dewatering or installing impermeable membranes on existing slide areas to prevent oversaturation of soil due to rain or water. Direct methods of preventing landslides such as modifying slope geometry, using chemical agents to reinforce slope material, installing structures such as piles and retaining walls, grouting rock joints and fissures, diverting debris pathways and rerouting surface and underwater drainage. Hazard mapping locate areas prone to slope failures. This method identify areas for building settlements. The public should be educated about signs that a landslide is approaching, thus, safety measures may be taken to reduce the impact. So those are the ways to lessen the occurrence of landslides. There are also basic ways or basic ways coping landslide. So we as student, we are we have a responsibility also to plant trees in some areas nga gamay ra kayong trees para ma-minimize or to lessen the occurrence of landslides. And that's our lesson for today. I hope you understand my topic and thank you for watching.